Natty.
Morning, everybody. Hi, Natty.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, Jay.
Tim.
Hello,
Jay.
hello, Natty. How are you doing? And welcome, Natty, of course.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Didn't you get the memo about the dress code today?
Are we wearing black?
Yeah.
Didn't get the message?
No, apologies. I decided to go with the usual amazing purple Thaiger shirts that we have.
That's not purple.
Blue?
What is it, lavender?
I'm thinking I'd call it a duck egg blue.
Duck egg blue.
I think that's the term
Right.
that we use in the interior decoration industry.
I see. Okay. All right. And let's just get on with the show, as there might have been some interruptions and or mistakes at the start of the show. We apologize about that. However, today we're going to be talking about the CCSA meeting today to talk about the easing of restrictions, as well as a quick update on Miss Universe Thailand. Then we're going to be talking about a meteor shower, which people will be able to view late tonight if you're living in Thailand, early, depending on which country you are from, and as well as an opinion piece that Tim has is going to further elaborate on this week in video form. You already wrote an article on the Thaiger.com regarding all ties are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Bastardizing a line out of George Orwell's Animal Farm.
That's right. For some reason, bastardizing just sounds like a very rude word. However, it's not.
No.
Well, I've altered it somewhat.
I see. Okay. All right. Before we start the show, let me give a quick shout out to Harold Chamberlain and Ambient Mopa. Thank you for being Thaiger members and supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. It really helps us out. As well as Coffee Culture.
Oh, yes.
Coffee Culture.
I finished mine before I came on. I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay.
I've come with my mobile phone, but no cup this time.
You are forgiven. Coffee Culture, you can now buy chocolate-infused ground coffee.
That's what I had.
Yeah, the Sit and Stay blend. And now you are sitting.
And I'm staying.
Yeah, there we go.
And hello to Marietta Thornton, who says, "Hi, guys." I think you're included in that one.
Oh.
Good evening and greetings from San Francisco.
Ooh, that sounds like a good place to be. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. Please subscribe. We're almost at 100,000, guys. We're at 97,000 plus.
Can you just lower your seat a little bit? I'm just looking at us on TV.
Okay, here we go.
Jason's got the horizon a bit crooked as well, but we'll plunge on.
All right.
So watch the horizon suddenly straighten itself up.
Right. So those of you not living in Thailand, we've just come back from a long weekend. So Friday was a public holiday, even though we did do the show, Natty. But for most people living in Thailand, they had a long weekend. Did you guys have a good long weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I was in Phuket on Friday, and then on Saturday came to Bangkok, and was in Bangkok yesterday, still in Bangkok. So I had, spent a bit of time at the airport. I have to say, I went to the Icon Siam shopping centre yesterday.
Oh, yes. First time?
No, it's about my third time. Very impressive place. You been there?
Yes, I have.
So it was packed.
Yeah.
Absolutely packed. The airport was very busy as well. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, it was all Thais.
Yeah.
So the Thais are getting out and about and travelling and doing plenty of it and filling planes and shopping centres and shopping apparently. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see many foreigners, like none. I was sort of the only white face in the crowd.
Okay. Yeah, you knew who you were because everyone was looking at you.
Staring at me.
Pointing fingers. Throwing things.
I can't remember his name. Bumblebee. Hello to Bumblebee, who barreled me up at a little restaurant under Terminal 21 yesterday to come and say hello.
Is that how he introduced himself? Hi, I'm Bumblebee.
Yeah, exactly how he introduced himself.
Cool.
Hello,
Love the
Bumblebee.
name. Hello, Bumblebee. Hope you're doing well. All right. Let's talk about our first topic today, which is regarding the CCSA and the easing of restrictions. Hopefully that will happen later today. Now, guys, New Year is looming. We're heading towards the great concert of Andrea Bocelli. And, it's the time to enjoy. December is the time of the festive season and the New Year. People are going to party. However, living in Thailand, we still do have some restrictions. It's hard to admit, hard to forget, but they're here. So, today, the Thai Prime Minister, Kun Prayut Chan-o-cha will head up to a meeting to consider a further relaxation of some of the restrictions that still include in places like Chonburi, for example. The blue zones, Bangkok, Phang Nga, Phuket, and Krabi still do have restrictions, but not as much as other regions in Thailand. So
It's pretty much, though, the only sort of main restriction that's still around is this sort of bars and nightclubs, karaoke's, gentlemen's clubs. That seems to be sort of the main one. All the other ones are, sort of be careful, socially distance, wear your mask. The stuff that we really have got to the stage where we don't think much about it anymore. We just do those things anyway. So it's really the nightclubs and the restaurants and the serving of alcohol. I think that's the big one everybody's waiting for. And perhaps the easing of the paperwork on the Thailand pass. I think a lot of people would be happy to see some of that disappear.
All right. So the three things they're going to discuss in today's meetings are a reopening of the Thai-Malaysia border, fewer restrictions for New Year's, updates for the provincial colour codes, and clearer guidelines for the serving of alcohol. There's also a talk of a revision of conditions regarding the Thailand pass. So some good news for you tourists who are planning to come to Thailand very soon. And they're going to try to lessen the restrictions and paperwork. Lessen the paperwork. Are you not excited?
So, Natty, I think one of the things that they're looking for with the Thailand pass is getting rid of that PCR test that you have to do at the hotel. And you know what it's like to do an ATK test.
Yes.
So they're going to replace that. So when you get to the airport, they do an ATK test. I think that's going to be... that would get rid of that having to stay a night in an SHA, expensive SHA plus hotel. So I think a lot of people would be happy to see that go.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Okay. Now, health officials have actually come out and also said that these restrictions and everything does depend on the Omicron variant and whether basically it's going to be a huge issue in Thailand or not. So I guess part of the main discussions is they know the real numbers, they know the real threat of the variant in Thailand. If it seems like something manageable, they will ease them. If not, they will not, especially regarding the Thailand pass.
We're, 2 or 3 weeks into this Omicron variant,
Yes.
and so far it appears, although we don't really have any substantive scientific studies at the stage because it just hasn't been around long enough, but it is in a lot of, I think it's in 68 countries now, and including Thailand, where they've identified 4 cases. So at the moment, it's still not a big thing. I think most of the residual fear that's around is just fear. There's no particular evidence that it's, at this stage, showing any signs of being a problem. But we really don't know, and anybody who says they do know at the moment don't. So nobody knows, but we hope that it's not going to be an ongoing problem as Thailand tries to open up.
All right. Now, more importantly, let's talk about Miss Universe Thailand. Natty, you've got more information on this.
Yes, so breaking news this morning. Yes, the Miss Universe competition in Israel that has been held yesterday, but it is in Thai time, 7 a.m. this morning. So the Thailand representative, Miss Anchali Chemist, did not make it through to the final round.
What's her name?
Miss
Anchali
Scott Chemist is her full name.
Right. Doesn't sound very Thai to me.
Anchali
I
is
think
a
she's
very Thai
half-
name.
Okay.
Anchali is Thai, but she is half Australian, I believe. Yes.
Oh, half Australian.
Yes.
Oh,
He got excited once he heard he was anyone Australian, he's already on board.
The thing is, Miss Anchali is known for her campaign, Real Size Beauty, because she is quite plus sized. And
Hang on.
yes.
You wouldn't really call her plus size. She's a healthy looking lady. I wouldn't call her plus size.
No, compared to maybe Thai beauty standards.
It's not just Thai beauty standards. I think there's an international measurement of who can be included in the plus size model industry.
Okay.
You can't just be fat and be, okay, I'm a plus size. There's a certain parameters of the waistline that you have to stay within to be plus size, and then there's obesity, and there's the regular
Have
model.
we got shots, Jason, of Anchali? We have.
Yes.
She doesn't look plus size to me. But if she's plus size, you and me are...
Yeah, I'm obese.
Well, if she's plus size, I don't know what you'd describe us as, but...
But
really.
I just want to go on a little bit more. So the real drama really is here. Miss Crown, the crowned Miss Grand Thailand of 2017. Her name is Kun Pamela Premika Pamela. She came out on social media and she was kind of bashing Anjali a little bit. She said that, beauty queens should have a standard way of looking or not. Why would you enter a competition if everybody could be whatever, right? And it's not much of the premise that is getting a lot of attention, but it's how she said it. So some of the things that she said, and I'm loosely quoting here because she said it in Thai, she says, being a beauty queen, she should be more aware of what she puts in her mouth. Also, Miss Universe is looking for people who are real and not fake girls, not a fat girl. So people are just like going at her social media saying like, how dare you say those things? But my question to you, Jay and Tim, do you agree with her premise though, that beauty queens should be of a certain standard, a certain size?
I understand where she's coming from. She's clearly probably worked years and years to be in a certain shape, followed a restrictive diet to make it to her crown or whatever, and then she sees someone else who's maybe double her size and in a way jealous that how come she gets to be where I was and I tried so hard. So I can understand where she's coming from. I don't think it's right, but I think for those specific reasons, I'm glad that now that I've heard what she said, I'm glad that Anjali got the chance to be in this position and be Miss Universe Thailand so they can change this ridiculous beauty standards that I just feel like it's a ridiculous beauty standards that people be like, oh, you need to be this way, you need to be that way. Just take your opinion and go,
The fact that they are still got bathing suit contests is just ridiculous. The little corner of the world where I come from, we sort of got rid of these beauty contests, 20, 30 years ago. And they're not really much of a thing. But when I grew up and I was younger, it's a long time ago, there were a lot of these beauty contests and people parading around in bathing suits and stuff, and they all had to be slim and gorgeous and stuff. But I think these days we need to be much more accepting of the variety of human shapes, and that somebody who is plus size or even beyond shouldn't be shamed for being that size. I mean, at the end of the day, they've taken the responsibility and put into their body the things that have made them that shape. But that's their choice, and we shouldn't be saying that you're less of a human being or that you're any less beautiful. So these beauty standards, in many ways, I think make a lot of young women go, oh my God, I'll never look like that. And that just makes them feel worse about themselves, rather than trying to make young people feel better about themselves, no matter how they look or what shape they are.
Yeah. Like Natty, I consider that basically online abuse and it's
fat
bullying.
shaming.
Yeah, bullying. I don't know. Yeah, fat shaming as well, I guess, but just bullying, especially coming from someone who has been there and knows that, public scrutiny and all the things that come with being famous. But Anjali has to deal with not only being famous, but because she's considered to be overweight, all the extra abuse that comes with her. So, good on you, Anjali. Good on you for just being who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, and to Pamela, sit on your crown and rotate.
Oh.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. On that note, we will take a quick break, and once we return from the break, we're going to be talking about a meteor shower that you can watch later tonight.
A meteor shower or a meteor?
Meteor.
Meteor shower.
Or meteor. You're talking to me about accents, and also an opinion piece that Tim wrote that's going to be coming out in video form later this week regarding the question, or rather statement, all Thais are equal, but some are more equal than others. That's coming up shortly. We'll be back right after this.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love.
And welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand, and I'm Jay, joined with Tim and Natty. Tim, you've got some questions or comments from the viewers.
This one is a good idea. Turning beauty pageants into something like boxing matches, where EIVTV says beauty pageants should have weight classes like that of boxing.
Oh, wow.
Now, the welterweight, Miss Thailand Universe.
Yeah.
Well, did we have a photo a bit earlier, Jason? You can tell us of her in the national costume. The national costume that she was wearing. This is
Oh, the Muay Thai one.
what
Yeah.
was that?
It
I've
didn't-
never seen anybody in Muay Thai wearing anything. She looked like a Native American Indian.
I felt like it was a half
creative.
attempt. It was a half attempt. It was a dress with Muay Thai attire rather than a Muay Thai dress.
I didn't get that one at all.
Oh well. A lot of people, actually, the viewers have a lot of comment regarding these beauty standards, as well as some saying that she's overweight by definition, read and follow the science, and some other people saying, oh, fat is not healthy, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your opinions. Some of you can keep them to yourselves. All right. Let's move on to talk about the Gemini meteor shower. Are you guys excited for a meteor?
Geminid.
Geminid/Gemini. The D is silent in
Is
some
it Godiva
countries.
or Godiva?
I say Godiva, but I've been told it's Godiva.
Lady Godiva.
Okay. All right. So, guys, for those up that will stay late tonight, I'm talking past midnight, Natty.
Me.
I'm talking
You're
past.
going to be up to watch it.
Yeah,
Past
I
1
will
a.m.,
try.
Timothy.
I will try because typically I sleep around 1 or 2 a.m.
What?
So I can probably catch the showers.
Well,
Okay.
now, we won't be seeing it. You'll be able to start seeing it around. This is in Thailand, by the way. In your own country, you're going to have to Google Geminid to see when you'll be able to see it in your home country. But it starts at around about midnight,
Midnight, that's
tonight,
correct.
and you'll go through till sunrise, which is around about 6:15, I think, tomorrow morning.
Yes.
In Thailand. But because of the moon being very bright, you won't sort of really get much of the shower until 2 a.m.
The peak of it will be at 2 a.m. That's
Yeah,
right.
So from 2 until sunset, I won't be seeing it. I'll be well asleep and dreaming about unicorns and...
Aren't you going to wake up for it?
No. And I live in Bangkok, right in the middle of the city. And if you're surrounded by lights...
Yes.
Or if there's any clouds, you're not going to be able to see very much. But if you're out in the sort of sticks in... Udon Whoop Whoop or something, then you might be able to see it if you can get away from lights. And it's about 120 meteors per hour are
Wow.
seen.
150.
So
Yeah, 150.
it's quite dramatic. I wasn't counting.
Oh, sorry.
It's quite dramatic.
Maybe you should stay up and count them today. How many did you get, Natty? And then we'll make a contest out of it. But hey,
I'll just look at the social media post tomorrow morning.
yes.
And
Just a quick note for those of you who didn't know, the shooting stars are actually caused by dust and debris that is shed by an asteroid called 3200 Phaeton
oh, that one.
or Phaeton.
Yes.
Yes,
No
which
idea
has
what
an
that is.
orbit that streaks past the Earth and passes closer to the Sun than any other named asteroid.
It's not from a comet like a lot of meteor showers are.
That is absolutely correct. And yes, that is your update for a meteor shower that is coming later tonight. And for those of you who can watch it, let us know. Take a video, send it in, so we can also see what you see. Any comments?
Back to the models.
Okay.
Clungsy says there are many plus-size Thai models that have many followers on Instagram, including me.
Okay.
The thing is, what is beautiful for one person can be different for another. I mean, some people actually like me, heaven forbid, and that's just the way the world is. So, and I'm wondering how many women are sitting on that judging panel in Israel this morning, having a look at Miss Universe Thailand,
yeah.
and thinking, oh, she's a bit big. I mean, how many are women? How many are men? I would like to know.
All right.
Okay, let's moving right along.
Right. Moving on. Tim, you're having a video opinion piece that's going to be coming out this week. You wrote an article over the weekend that says, all ties are equal, but some are more equal than others. A play on words from George Orwell's Animal Farm. Now, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, look, it's an interesting comment that was made by the leader of the lower house in Thailand, former Prime Minister twice in Thailand, Chuan Likpai. And he made comments telling Thais not to be disheartened by the state of Thai democracy. And I asked the question, what Thai democracy? And I think in the past, even here at the Thaiger, we've used euphemisms about quasi-democracy or democracy Thai style or limited democracy. But it's certainly really not a democracy. And I think I went through a lot of the statements made on Constitution Day on Friday, which was the reason we had the public holiday. Because I felt that Chuan Ligpai sort of really skirted around the issues. What happened, Constitution Day is about a day back in 1932, where Thailand changed from being an absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy. And that situation remains now. But the head of state has usually presided over a democratically elected government. But you really couldn't look at the 2019 election and say that is anything like democracy, given that the entire upper house, the Senate of the Thai Parliament, are all hand-picked. Most of them flunkies from sort of the ranks of the army or people who are in high office and conservative in nature. So you've got that to start with. And so when you've got a whole half of the Parliament, 250 senators hand-picked, none of them are elected. Even the Thai Prime Minister didn't run as an MP. He's never been elected by the Thai people. He was nominated by a joint sitting of the two parliaments, including those 250 senators, hand-picked by the military-run NCPO. No other candidates had a chance. So I think I would like to perhaps sit with Chuan Ligpai one day and say, well, what is democracy to you? Because he did preside over a democratically elected government at the time. But that situation hasn't existed in Thailand since 2014. So those people who think I'm sort of marching over some grey line, that's not really the case. I think even the current government would admit that it's not perhaps democracy as originally defined by the Greeks, but it is a form of democracy, and I suppose everybody would like to think that the restrictions or the strings imposed on the current government in Thailand will be slowly eased, and that the Thai people will have more say in the daily affairs of their country in the future.
All right.
So I did an article on thetiger.com, but we're turning that into a video this week. If you're too lazy to read it, I'll read it for you.
All right, that's coming up later this week. All right, please leave your questions that you would like to get answered either by me, Tim, or Natty. This is the time we're going to take a quick break and come back and take some live questions and give you their answers. So this is your time. Warning to leave some questions. We'll be back right after this. Hello and welcome back. I'm Jay, this is Tim, and that's Natty, and you're watching Good Morning Thailand. Jazz hands. This is the part where we get to just take a couple of moments to answer your questions and answers. Tim, you've got some already.
Yes, nobody. I'll sort of paraphrase his comment made entirely in caps, by the way, yelling at us. He says it's their pageant and they have the right to set the rules. If you feel like you're being excluded, why not organise your own pageant? Well, fair comment. Ooh. And, well, good luck to the organisers. It is their pageant, and I hope they've made lots of money out of it. And the winner of the contest, has that been decided yet?
Oh, not yet. It's ongoing
it's still
right
going.
now.
Yeah, right happening now. As we speak.
Yes.
So whoever the winner is, good luck. I always wanted one day to be the MC of one of those beauty pageants.
Oh.
I always wanted to say, Miss Venezuela.
But I feel like you're just going to make some sarcastic comment.
I probably would.
Half of them wouldn't get it.
So, yeah, I've always wanted to. I don't think I'm going to get that opportunity to be the MC of a beauty contest.
Who knows? Well, if Steve Harvey could do it, you're the white Australian Steve Harvey.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people who I sort of modelled my commentary on over the years, I've seen host beauty pageants. It's sort of one of those things you sort of had to do in the past. But yeah, I'm probably never going to get the chance.
All right. Moving on to a question from Matt Dulski, who says, Jay, are you feeling blue today? I was feeling blue today, but I've been reminded that this is not blue and it's Lavender.
I'm saying duck egg blue. That's what I'm calling it.
What does that even mean, duck egg blue? You just made that up.
Google it.
You just made that up.
No, Google it. You'll see.
All right. Nettie, any questions?
Yeah, going back to the comments on Miss Universe Thailand, Kev O says fat is not healthy. That's actually a lot of the conversation that's going around in the Thai media as well, saying that, well, being a little bit overweight, that means you have a lot more fat. Therefore, it's not even about beauty or not being beauty. It's about promoting unhealthy lifestyle choices. So that's the topic that's going around as well. So,
but I mean, is she fat? I would say she just looks comfortably healthy. I wouldn't call her fat. I think, yes, sure, being fat, obese, or being 10% over your BMI or whatever the measurement is one thing, but she is not fat.
She does look
to me
healthy.
she looks like a healthy, normal woman. Perhaps not what you might call the slim, demure Asian figure. But
All right, more important question here. Why is Tim wearing a boring shirt from Brad?
it's not boring, it's black.
Okay.
Matt Dulski says, add the Thai smog, possibility of seeing it is less. If you want a bit of an update on the Bangkok smog, if that's what he's asking, looking out the window, there isn't much today. It looks very, very clear. In fact, I can see kilometres into the distance. It's overcast today. It's quite coolish, probably in the low 20s, which we call coolish here in Thailand, but not a lot of smog today, but be assured it will happen, and when it does, we'll report it.
Yep. All right.
I have one here. The lucky boy with the golden Thai babe. Hey, Natty, when is Frank making his debut appearance on the show? So some people are also asking, who is Frank? Who is Frank? If you guys watch my Healthy Eating Challenge convenience store edition, you would see Frank. I don't want to reveal who he is, but yeah, sure, I can make him come back if you guys are interested.
All right. No, all the questions. Who is Frank?
Yes.
Can I also say, well done to Natty for one of her videos over the weekend, the Ask the Girls.
Yes.
That was part one of, because a lot of people were saying it was too short, we want more.
Yeah, part 2 is coming out later this weekend.
Yay.
So this was
or this week.
you with two of your gal pals.
Yes.
Talking about questions from the viewers.
Yes, so it was mostly about dating and relationship and some sex questions in there. So if you guys are interested, do.
Yeah, if you guys
look
are
back.
interested in sex, watch part 1 and part 2. And yeah, well done. It was a good show.
Yay, thank you.
Because we're all sitting here just reading the thing. I hope a meteor does not land on my house. Toby, it's extremely unlikely. These meteors are tiny. A lot of them is like specks of dust or sand, and as soon as they hit the atmosphere, it's a very brilliant show for a couple of seconds, and then they completely dissipate, never to be seen again.
All right. Mel F says, Jay, when you talk about 3 people, of which you are one, you do not, in capital letters, put yourself first when saying names of the panel. So it should be Tim Newton, Natty Warisa, and then I should talk about myself, Jay. So thank you.
That's right, Jay.
Yeah. She's told me off. Thank you, Mel. All right.
USA has the largest prison population in the world. Democracy is fake, says Balthazar Rodaliga. I'm not sure how you can relate prison populations to the issue of democracy, but he just did. Scott D says, question, any idea as to why the viewer numbers are down? Oh, maybe I should have read that first. The viewer numbers for this program or other programs, it's interesting, and I suppose we should address the elephant in the room. There has been a drop in our YouTube figures across the board. And it's an interesting situation because we've sort of added different programs, and we're even going to be introducing a new channel. The dynamics of YouTube are very difficult for a publisher to get their heads around, and I think Google make it that way. At the same time, our Thai YouTube channel is slowly going up, and the TikTok channel is
It's just taken off.
through the roof, getting, in some cases, more than 10 million views on particular clips. So, it's an interesting phenomenon. We had a huge rise earlier this year, but we'll be addressing this, and we're tweaking the programs a bit. And there's a lot more people now on YouTube making videos, so the space is getting a lot bigger, and the viewers we just have to work harder to get them back onto our channel. Yeah. And I'm sure if we asked people, they'd be telling us very happily all the things we should be doing to attract their attention.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Scott.
Let's end the show on that note. I'd like to give a quick thank you to Tim Newton for joining the show.
Thank you, Tim.
Jazz
Why
hands.
is the cleaner on the show?
Remember you were cleaning the other day
Right.
when we were doing Thaiger Unfiltered.
Right.
Yeah. Why is he on the show? No, it's the cleaner. He's everywhere. We rely on him heavily. He's important. All right. Thank you, Tim Newton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natty Warisa.
Thank you.
Thank you to Jason. Thank you to Shai. Thank you to Golf as well. I was told off the other day because I didn't thank Golf.
Why do we have to think golf?
I don't know. We must. He's part of the team, Tim. Come on.
He makes the coffee. Why should we be thinking? Well, he makes the coffee. He makes good coffee.
All right.
From coffeeculture.asia.
Yeah, thank you to all the viewers watching the show. So, almost 400 viewers live right now. Thank you for always supporting us. We appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow.